Hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. It is Friday the 7th. And finally, the week is over. However, it is not over in general for Arsenal because some things never stop. Obviously, Arsenal are in Dubai. They're chilling, they're relaxing, rewarding for failure, not winning trophies and everything. So that's always fun, isn't it? But yeah, Arsenal are still being talked about, obviously, given that it's one of the biggest clubs in England. They're gonna be talked about all the time. So definitely there are talks regarding some players. They are talking some around the club in general, and of course you won't guess this, but ironically enough, there are transfer talks. Yes, there are transfer talks. Transfer window has been closed, and we are already talking about transfers that gonna happen during summer. The thing is though, it's not only about players that are going to come in, there are also players that are going to go out potentially. And that is the wild part, because why, with half a year to go, we are already talking about transfers? The window just closed. We should be talking about transfers when the transfer window is open, or about a month or so before the window, because usually that makes something is happening most of the time. Not always, but most of the time as it stands. But of course, you will never know what is happening, what is going on. But overall, regarding Arsenal, wait, give me a sec. Regarding Arsenal, it is all over the place, it is up in the air, and more PR than ever is being pushed around Arsenal, because somehow this club needs to salvage the mess they have created after the summer transfer window, and specifically after January transfer window. So we're gonna talk about all that. We're gonna look at Mikel Arteta and in general the fact what it says in the title. For Mikel Arteta, in my opinion, for me in general, it is now or never. Either he does something this season, or let's be real, he has to go. Because the jig is up. Let's just put it that way. The jig genuinely is up for Arteta. It is now or never. But yeah, PR surrounding Arsenal, obviously inevitable thing. It's gonna go around and round, and it feels like it's never gonna stop. But they have to save the image. Let's be real. But yeah, of course. Before we get into all that, smash the like, subscribe, hit that bell, leave your thoughts down in the live chat, share the stream around, share the video around afterwards, or leave your thoughts down in the comments below, because in recent days, the more I speak about the club, the more I call out the club on certain things we are doing, the more basically backlash I get from Arsenal fans. I'm not gonna lie, I used to talk about some things that concern me about Arsenal. I got an odd comment here or there, but now the more I speak about it, the more annoyed they get, and most of them are top gunners. Let's be real, we're gonna one day when I get enough comments, we actually might do a separate stream just on that, but it is what it is for now at least. But yeah, what we're gonna kick things off is, ironically enough, well, Dubai, because Arsenal are in Dubai. And this is one of my biggest, weirdest theories why David Raya recently has been that bad. Because he's been seen together with Manuel Almunia, and he's catching up with David Raya. For me, Almunia is one of the worst keepers I have ever seen at Arsenal. And it kind of is weird that he's together with David Raya, and David Raya's performances recently also have dipped. Might be coincidence, maybe not, who knows, but that's just my conspiracy random fun thought for today. Big up Arsenal, Manic. Yeah, don't worry. We beat Man City 5-1. That is a trophy for Arsenal fans in general. Well, true, but obviously, as we all know, that's hearing sometimes. I'm not saying that it is the truth, but let's be real, there are general consensus that it could be the truth, and I speak my opinion on this. And obviously, it's going against the grain. Yeah, for example, if you imagine people following like sheep to certain opinions, I go against them. I have my own thoughts on this, and yeah, people don't tend to be very pleased with them. Let's just put it that way. Because all the time it is, go support Spurs, you're an idiot, I'm a crybaby, and Arsenal are second, we just beat City, be happy, we are still in Champions League and all that stuff. Doesn't matter that we haven't won Premier League in 21 years, or FA Cup in 6 years, well 5 technically, and the Carabao Cup in 32 years. It doesn't matter. We have top 4. Top 4 is like a trophy for Arsenal. Let's be real. For most Arsenal fans, top 4 is like a trophy. So it is what it is, I guess, at the end of the day. But yeah, as you can see, Arsenal are in Dubai, training and everything. Almunia PTSD is strong as ever, of course. Some other things is, and this is obviously the most recent one, and it's actually not that recent, let's be real. This is a serious talk we need to have. William Saliba and Real Madrid. Because it's no secret that already in October, in September, it was even in September, when Arsenal played Spurs, Real Madrid sent some scouts and the links started already there. So they started almost half a year ago already. That Real Madrid are hella interested in William Saliba, especially given the fact that Militao is injury prone, Rudiger is old, let's be real to some extent. David Alaba came back from an ACL injury, he managed to play for 2 weeks and he's injured once again. So center back position, they have a bit of an issue, let's be real. And they are looking for long-term replacements. And obviously William Saliba is on top of that list, let's be real. And a few weeks ago, as we all know, Saliba got injured, right? He missed a game. He came back for Wolves. And the biggest question was it rushed or was he ready? Because we could not tell. Wolves didn't challenge Saliba that much, so we could actually have some sort of a explanation and some sort of actually the eye test to see whether he's ready or not, or whether he's been rushed back or not, or whether he has fully recovered. But since then, we have played Newcastle, we have played other games, and more questions are starting to pick up. At least for me. I'm not sure whether you have these questions or not, but for me, definitely. The biggest question is, what's happening? Because the way he got spun yesterday on multiple occasions, it wasn't like we have one of the best French center backs in our team. It was like we had Squillaci back in the team, prime Igor Stepanovs, Johan Djourou, or someone like that at center back. He got spun, he instantly pulled someone down, he's making mistakes, getting caught out of position more, or overall, in situations where he has never had that problem. I know that at least for how Newcastle played, they attack spaces, and in a way that is one of the biggest downfalls, kind of feels like, with our defense, because the most of the teams we play, they have one designated striker up front who mostly camps on the edge of the box, on the back line, on the shoulder, or the back of the defensive line. This is Gabriel and Saliba, or Timber, or whoever's playing left back, Skelly, Calafiori, whoever, right? But Isak is one of those strikers who is doing the straight opposite. Let's just put it that way. He actually moves around. He tackles spaces. He likes to drift wide. He's like free roaming to a certain extent. And it kind of get the feeling that Gabriel and Saliba don't know how to defend against these situations. I kind of get that feeling to some extent. Because Haaland doesn't do that. Watkins doesn't do that as much. Who else is there? Well, Spurs are Spurs, but Solanke doesn't do that. Let's be real. Chris Wood doesn't do that. Most of the attackers we have in Premier League, number 9s, don't do that. And it feels like our defense is a bit scared when he's just free roaming around and he can attack with pace, straight direct, because let's be real, Isak has some tech as well to him. He can play one-on-one. He has very big pace as well. He can outrun our defenders. And given the fact that our defensive line doesn't per se defend against such type of defenders, nor in games on consistent basis, nor as well in training, because let's be real, we don't have a number 9 as well, is a bit of a question mark. Either they especially Saliba doesn't know how to do it, or there is some other underlying issues because of that. Because the way Saliba played, the whole team, to be honest, against Newcastle, played like they were also pretty much in Dubai chilling and relaxing. It felt like they were not focused. There was no fight, no energy from the team. But this also, for me personally, raised one of the big questions about Saliba. He got done over in the game against Newcastle like he's never been done before. Pause and all that stuff, of course, but you get what I mean. And that also, besides the Dubai thing, kind of makes me wonder, to some extent, whether his mind, partially at least, is already in Madrid. That's something I cannot get out of my head, because Saliba has come out in interviews, multiple ones, and said that I know that people want to consider me and try to compare me to some of the best center backs in the world right now, but to be considered into that talk, I need trophies by my name. And let's be real, Arsenal with Saliba, as much as I want with Saliba to win trophies, it doesn't look like Arsenal is gonna do it. At least not with Mikel Arteta, of course. In my opinion, he's not the guy who's gonna get us over the line. We're gonna get to Arteta in about 20 minutes, specifically Arteta. But for me, with Saliba, it feels like he's weighing up the options. That it could actually see us, if not this summer, but maybe next summer, 100%, that he actually might leave to Real Madrid. Because that interest, given Saliba's profile, the style he plays, and how he presents himself, that is something Madrid needs. That is something that's missing from Madrid's defense, right? So that begs me the big question. Is he partially, on some level, mentally at least, already checked out and is in Madrid? Like that, I cannot shake that feeling. Because in recent games, he has been making mistakes he doesn't usually make, or doesn't make at all. And that is either because he's being overplayed and fatigued and mentally he cannot focus as much because he's genuinely drained and tired, or there is some underlying Madrid calls happening and stuff like that that could be indicating that he might be leaving. And I cannot shake that feeling. I know it sounds very conspiracy theory like, but I just cannot shake that feeling. It kind of feels that way. It feels like Saliba partially is playing with one mind, with partially focusing already on Real Madrid. And the fact that Real Madrid's interest is not gonna disappear, it's pretty much a given. It's gonna be there until his contract runs out, and whether they're gonna sign him or free, or they're actually gonna put in a bid for him, obviously remains to be seen. Because let's be real, Arsenal don't want to let his contract run out and let him go for free if push comes to shove. But if Arsenal don't win trophies, and I don't mean FA Cups or Carabao Cups, he needs to win Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues to be considered one of the best, right? So that ultimately means that either he does it here, or if he doesn't feel like it, he actually might not extend the new contract. He actually might say, nah, I'm gonna run out my contract, I'm gonna peace out. That's what Real Madrid did with Mbappe. Genuinely, that's what Real Madrid did with Mbappe. They just waited and then got him for free. And whether that's going to happen with Saliba or not, I don't know. But let's be real, in Real Madrid, they have Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Mbappe, Ferland Mendy. They have French players which he sees on consistent basis in his national team. And if you think for us, even for a second, that those four players are not whispering into his ear to come to Madrid, that he doesn't hear the stories about Madrid, about the trophies, about the culture and everything, you are as blind as a bat. Let's be real. So there are many underlying factors, and it kind of cannot shake the feeling that partially William Saliba might actually leave this summer. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but it kind of slowly but steadily starting to get that feeling that it might happen sooner rather than later. That is one of my 2 cents on that regard about William Saliba. Big up Kwame. Thumping City isn't an issue, but our unacceptable behavior failing to sign anyone last month. Yep, last month signing anyone proper for 3 years. Let's be real, we are signing a new striker for 3 years. But does Arteta even want a striker? It's all fine and dandy when we are linked with strikers. That's one thing when PR is being pushed, when they're saying that PR is be all end all. PR basically is to protect Arsenal's image and to basically make them look good so it looks like they're trying. But ultimately it's all, big part of them is lies. Because after the transfer window closes, many news come out about the transfer businesses, inquiries and all that stuff. And for at least 95% of the players Arsenal are linked with during summer or even winter during transfer windows, we don't hear after the transfer window that we have been linked with them whatsoever. So it's all PR being pushed for narrative to get a better contract by the player or to basically juice up the price by the club or something. Let's be real. Big up G-Star, big up my guy. Big up Marlon, I'm back, needed a break from Arsenal, I totally get that. I totally, utterly get that. Big up Marlon, big up, big up. Anyhow, let's move a bit swiftly on. And we move on to this one. And this again, in my opinion, is another PR move. Apparently, Arsenal have been linked to numerous strikers. Well, that's a given pretty much. But that's actually not a hard link to make. You know how people say, oh, Arsenal need a striker. It's very easy to make a link for Arsenal in news these days for a striker. You pick a random striker, you write up an article, you put it out, and let's be real, Arsenal's fan base are gonna eat it up. Because Arsenal's fan base in general are desperate for Arsenal to sign a striker. We've been signing a striker for 3 years now, and we still haven't signed one. And for me, for Mikel Arteta, the big question is, does he even want a striker? When he was at City, he hasn't seen a proper striker, how to coach him and manage him. When he had a proper striker at Arsenal, he made him play left wing or left wing back, or as a number 6 part half the time. So that begs the question, does Arteta even know how to manage a striker? Because we have never seen it. He had a striker, Edin Nketiah, well, not the best example, but he didn't grow, he didn't get better. Balogun he binned. Chidobe Martin just decided to leave because he saw that Arteta is useless with strikers. Mika Biereth we let go for 3 million. And then Sturm Graz sold him for 12. Half a year later, he just bagged a hat-trick in the first game for Monaco. And our striker situation is a mess. For a club that used to be known to have some of the best strikers overall in the league, and to some extent to many extents in the world, it's actually embarrassing. And if you look at teams that have won the league, 95% of the time, they have had a designated striker. Obviously, the exception is Man City with Aguero and players like that to some extent, 1 or 2 times. But ultimately, if you look at these, Chelsea had Drogba, they had Torres, well, not the best examples, but I'm gonna tell you anyways. Diego Costa. Like, Man United always have had good strikers, even Van Persie, as much as it hurts, but it was Van Persie who won them the league single-handedly pretty much. That year when Sir Alex Ferguson had a tactic, basically hoof it up to Van Persie and hope for the best. Liverpool had Firmino, they have even Divock Origi, he also was quite underrated. But since to Liverpool when they won the league, they didn't have a striker, but they had a number 10 that can score, and then it was basically elevated by 2 phenomenal wingers in Mane and Salah. Arsenal have none of that. Genuinely have none of that. And that is the big thing. And how Arteta envisions to win the league, I have no idea. Because personally, I don't see it. I genuinely don't see it. We don't have a striker. We don't have a bagsman who can bag 20 plus goals a season. The most successful teams in the world always have a proper striker. Arsenal is the only one that doesn't have one. And we want to win something. Like, that's embarrassing on its alone. Isn't that ironic that the only trophy Arteta has won was at a time when Arsenal actually had a striker? When Arsenal actually had a striker, Aubameyang and Lacazette, even 2 proper strikers. Obviously, one was pushed out wide, but overall we had 2 proper strikers. Isn't that ironic? Since then, he has been them all, has never signed a proper striker. And we barely can scrape 3rd round in FA Cup or Carabao Cup. Embarrassing. Genuinely embarrassing. And now, we are relying on Kai Havertz as a number 9. Obviously, as much as we can cuss him, right? Say that he's awful at striker, it's not his position. And on top of that, whose fault is that we have to rely on Kai Havertz as a striker? It's all on Mikel Arteta, Richard Garlick, Tim Lewis, Josh Stan Kroenkes, Jason Ato, also Edu Gaspar. It's on all of them. Because they haven't sanctioned the move, they haven't sanctioned the funds. Our scouting is shit because most of our scouts have been sacked by Edu, and we have nobody else to go. We have nobody else to go. And now we are linked with this player, Lautaro Martinez. Like, come on, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Exactly, like Marlon is saying, Havertz is a number 10/secondary striker behind the striker. And on top of that, it's not enough for Havertz to do his job. He needs to be in a free roam type of role, like he was playing at Bayer Leverkusen, like Wirtz is playing right now for Bayer Leverkusen. He's not playing at striker, yet he's bagging goals left, right, and center for Bayer Leverkusen. Like, it's actually kind of mad. Balogun would have cooked, but then... Yeah, Balogun actually never get a proper chance. because Arteta prioritized Eddie fucking Nketiah in front of him. Basically, Balogun said it's either me or Nketiah, and Arteta chose Nketiah. And the worst part is, the year we gave Nketiah 100 grand a week contract, Newcastle signed Isak for 70 million from Real Sociedad. And Arsenal didn't sign Isak because they thought that his 70 million price tag, his release clauses, were way over his potential and his output as a striker in La Liga. And now we are allegedly going for him when he is worth 150, 200 million. Even could be if he keeps scoring and he wins, especially Golden Boot or something like weird like that. Let's be real. Like, what are we doing here? That's embarrassing alone. If we lose our 2 games to Leicester away next weekend and West Ham at home in 2 weeks, the so-called Dubai trip is meaningless. The Dubai trip in general feels meaningless. Obviously, I get it. That mid-season, maybe get out of the daily routine, right? In new environment, different weather and everything is fantastic because you can reset. If not physically, then mentally as well. And that many times works wonders because I do the same thing at work. If I get too tired, I kind of get dazed, I cannot focus anymore, I take 15 minutes to walk around the premises. I take 15 minutes just to walk around the neighborhood just to clear my head. I get that. It works. But as top gooners are saying this, going to Dubai is the reincarnation of Arsenal as they did last year. That is delusion on the different level. If they think it's gonna happen, they're as dumb as you can be. Because that is never gonna work. Never gonna work. And the worst part is, Saka is out, let's be real. Martinelli is out as well for some time. And 100% by the looks of things, the way we are overplaying our players, it's inevitable that one of our key players are gonna get injured at some point still in the second part of the season. The question is when. And that is the sad part. And that is the worrisome part in this. Because usually the most important injuries, the big ones we have gotten this season, are to players who have no backups. It was Saka, it's Odegaard, it was Declan Rice, because Merino, let's be real, is a bum. And of course, William Saliba. We don't have for those 3 players proper backups. And that is the big issue right now. Big up Nally, big up. Big up, thanks for dropping by. Time to put Oyedeji or Edwards at striker and put Havertz left wing. I don't know what it's time for, to be honest. Because Oyedeji, based on rumors, obviously he's 22. He's getting too old for the under 21 team. He's getting too old. And rumors already are circulating about the fact that he might be let go during summer. Kabia is going out on loan. Maldini and all them men could go out on loans in summer. But Oyedeji, sayonara. Just like we did last summer when we let go 22 youngsters. July 1st struck, 22 players from the academy let go on free. And you want to tell me we could have even gotten 1 million for all of those players? We could have easily made about 30, 40 million, if not more, for those players single-handedly. Because there was Okonkwo, who was very good at Wrexham. We could have sold him for genuinely 4 to 6 million. There was Kozer Dubry. We could have signed him for proper money. Let's be real. Arsenal just decided it's easier to let players go than to try and sell them. Same happened with Aubameyang. Because Arsenal is the only team who didn't make money on Aubameyang. But what did that mean? That didn't get paid by selling him. Because Borussia Dortmund did, Barcelona did, Chelsea did, Marseille did. Arsenal is the only team that basically let him go for free and even paid for him to leave. And yet then you watch this all for nothing documentary and you can see Edu and Richard Garlick high-fiving each other for the fact that we got rid of Aubameyang for free. Like, that is embarrassing alone. Embarrassing. Exactly. Dubai excuse is just insane. Yeah, that's the thing. I heard that as well. I heard that Martinelli could be out from 3 to 5 weeks. Which means We are pretty much close to playing Raheem Shillings as the main guy up on one of the wings. He's not gonna wake up. He is not gonna wake up. That's the sad part. He's stubborn, to some extent narcissistic. It's his way or the highway, and he's not gonna budge. Heard we are paying 130 mil for Lautaro Martinez in the summer. Yeah, just like we signed Zubimendi already. And you weren't here yesterday, Marlon. You weren't here, and here it is. And this came out yesterday. They're increasing discussions around Martin Zubimendi at Real Madrid. The player is on their radar. That was one of the things that got reported yesterday. And Real Madrid are seriously interested in Zubimendi. And let's be real, if Real Madrid really wants a player, 99.9% of the time, they get the goddamn player. Because it's Real Madrid. If you're one of the best Spanish players in La Liga, again, bigger chance than not that you're going to play for Real, Atletico, or Barcelona. One of those three teams are going to snap you up instantly, pretty much. If you're one of the best players in Spain or in La Liga. Let's be real. Why would he move away from Spain to England? Why? I don't see the reason. Hell no, Kabi is the next Arshavin. Oideji could have been cooking if we ever... That's the big thing. We have these youngsters on the pitch, right? We have these youngsters... Not on the pitch, on the bench, sorry. And we never play them. We never play them. We never give a chance to Kabia, to Oyedeji, to players like that. We give chance... Obviously, when Yeri and Skelly got chances. But let's be real. Arteta has instantly lucked out. It was complete share of luck that we actually got to see them play. Because when did Yeri consistently start to play? It wasn't during Odegaard's injury. It was when Saka got injured. When did Miles Lewis-Skelly started to play? When Calafiori was injured predominantly. And he didn't want to see Zinchenko or Kivior there. And let's be real, he doesn't rate Kieran Tierney. Same thing goes for Saliba. Saliba got loaned out multiple times. Only reason why Saliba stayed for after the summer and that preseason and didn't got loaned out is because Ben White was utter trash at center back and Arteta was forced to move him as a right back. Okay, that actually worked out by some freaking miracle. But there's a big chance Saliba wouldn't be even at Arsenal anymore. Or he would be marinated on the bench, sold to some random team, he would generally flourish there and they wouldn't sell him for about 100 million to one of the big clubs. And there's a big chance he would have played against us in the Premier League. Not for us. Arteta with the youngsters has completely lucked out. And the top gunners say, oh look, Arteta is giving the young players chances. No, he's not. It's not by choice. It's being forced on him by circumstances at the team. That he has left the team so short that he basically has to use them. Or otherwise, we basically have nobody to play. We are rocking up to games with 9 men on the team on the pitch. That's generally how it goes. Because if he was a proper manager, if we had a proper manager, Saka would have a backup, we would have a proper number 9, we would have a proper left back, we would have proper left number 8, we wouldn't be forced to use teenagers there. And Arsenal have this sickness in a way to do that to do that consistent basis. We did that with Fabregas, we did that with Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe, Jack Wilshere, Aaron Ramsey. We are doing this with all the youngsters we have had in our team. We basically put the weight of the world on their shoulders. And now that Saka is out, and our team is basically useless, Ethan Nwaneri, a 17-year-old, is the most exciting player on the pitch. He's outperforming everyone. Every single player we have on the pitch, attacking-wise especially. See, and he's outperforming all the senior ones. And that's just embarrassing. Edwards is a beast, and Louis as well is with Big Gubby. It's off center-back partnership. Let's be real, Saliba isn't shit, but there is something going on. Either he's mentally checked out, and either it's that injury he had and he's not fully recovered, or to some extent, mentally he's already at Madrid. That's the way I see it. Either he's not fully fit, or mentally he's already partially in Madrid. One of the two things. And obviously, there's the third thing. He doesn't have the skill to defend such an attacker like Isak or Gordon. Because, as I said, most of the defenders, attackers in Premier League, just sit on the defenders' backs and wait for a cross. Isak plays complete opposite. He moves around the pitch more. He runs into open spaces. And then it forces our center backs to track them, which leaves open gaps for other ones to run in behind. And then obviously Partey doesn't have the legs to close the gap or something. One loses focus and it's done. Chris Wood is an example of a strike. Yeah, Chris Wood is better than Kai Havertz. 100%. Chris Wood at Arsenal, put Chris Wood in all the Havertz chances Havertz has had this season. Let's be real. Chris Wood would be on about what, 20, 25 goals? Something like that in all competitions. I'm not. That's the biggest thing. I have never said we have signed Zubimendi. Everyone tries to convince me that Zubimendi is joining Arsenal in the summer. I'm still standing against it. I still don't know. I still don't believe this. Until he holds up Arsenal shirt, I'm not going to believe this. I still am fully convinced that there's still half a year left, first of all. Lots of can change in half a year. And there's bigger chance than not that he's going to go to Real Madrid or Barcelona. I still strongly believe that. I believe that when that got announced, instantly, when Sam Mokbel, or however you want to pronounce that idiot's name, who has never got a transfer right, by the way, regarding Arsenal these days, when he announced that, I said instantly, it's not gonna it's cool if it happens, but until it happens, like officially, I'm not gonna believe it. Because Spanish players don't leave Spain that easily. Because the best Spanish players predominantly move from smaller clubs to Barcelona, Real Madrid, or Atletico Madrid. They don't usually leave Spain. And same goes for Nico Williams. For me personally, Nico Williams is gonna move to Barcelona next summer. Zubimendi, it looks like most likely is gonna move to Real Madrid next summer. And Arsenal are not getting either of those. Let's be real. Have you seen Barry at Villarreal? Yeah, Barry I have seen. He plays for the main squad. Yeah, he's cooking defenses. Arsenal young strikers on the bench. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. That is the biggest thing. Saliba is arguably Saliba of the two center backs of Gabriel and him is the worst one. In the last about month, he has been the worst. Gabriel has been the most consistent, and arguably you could make an argument that Gabriel has been the best overall center back for Arsenal since the Qatar World Cup, in my opinion at least, because Gabriel is that center back who doesn't mind doing the dirty work. Saliba is more flamboyant, more elegant, and everything nice on the eye, but nobody usually looks at the guy who does all the job, and most of the time, most important blocks, tackles and recoveries is made by Gabriel. The thing is, Saliba gets the spotlight because the times he gets that, he actually gets it right. He doesn't get those too many chances. Kubrasi is a fantastic player. Yeah, Kubrasi is phenomenal center back. It looks like it's a long-term center back for Barcelona. It's like, I don't want to say the next Puyol or anything, but he is fantastic. Can Dauman play for Arsenal's first team? He can't. He cannot play for the first team. He can play in cups, but we are not in cups, right? So that's the thing. And he cannot play for Arsenal. He can only play next year. Next year, if Arsenal register him, this year he can't. This season he can't. Nah, they still want him. They still want him. That's the big thing. They still do want him. Barcelona are not selling Kubrasi. No chance in hell. Kubrasi is the future of Barcelona. There are no chance they're selling him. And how, as you can see instantly, this all PR for all the new striker links and everything, already our minds are getting put away from the shit performances we are having, the way we lost to Newcastle and everything, how the season is looking, to basically look in the future for the summer. Always next season. Never act right now on the spot for the situation and moment. Always look for something that's in the future, half year in the future. In other news, Ben White is back in training, which seems good because if that is true and he looks like he's properly training, it means that Timber actually could catch a break for a change. That would be nice to see, because Timber, for me, I feel very sorry for Jurriën Timber because he's getting overplayed. How he hasn't gotten injured again after the ACL injury, and that the fact that he's playing almost full 90 almost every single game as right back or center back is actually insane, to say the least. And yeah, Gabriel Magalhaes has been named Arsenal's Player of the Month for January. And let's be real, for me personally, it's fully and utterly deserved. Because he, for me personally, has done everything correctly. He has made some phenomenal blocks, phenomenal recoveries. He reads the game to the maximum extent. He has scored goals, and he has done everything to maximum extent. Maximum extent. That, for me, the biggest thing. This is, for me, the biggest thing. If Real Madrid comes in with a proper offer for Saliba and Arsenal decide to sell, who would I bring in? I would most likely try and bring in Bastoni, right? That would be my first option. However, he's an Italian center back, and you never know how that's gonna work. For me, the biggest issue is, with all the money we would get for Saliba, do I trust this board, this ownership, this manager, because it looks like he's still gonna be here, sadly, make the right decision, sign the right player? No, I don't. We are replacing a striker for 3 years. Do I believe we're gonna do the right thing for center back? Because there's a bigger chance we are selling Saliba, if Saliba gets sold, right? That's what if scenario. Saliba gets sold, and we sign a random player who needs developing again. And the process begins all over again. Finally getting the love he deserves. Okay, that is a massive overstatement. Saliba deserves the praise and everything, but for the last month, he's been the most suspect of our defense. Let's just put it that way. Whether it's down to injury, either he's mentally checked out or what, we don't know, but he definitely is not shit. He's very good. That's a bit of a, let's be real, head loss a bit in that regard from you. But Gabriel Magalhaes definitely deserves the flowers, because he is one of those guys who moves in silence, who does all the job and predominantly gets overlooked. That's why I want him as a captain. He doesn't mind getting his hands dirty, getting the job done. He has the passion, ability, chances, and he can do the things properly. You can rely on him. And the best part is, as much as we criticized him like two and a half years ago for having the bozo gene, he has pretty much fully eliminated it from his repertoire. He actually has matured, and he's a seriously proper defender. One of the best left-footed defenders, arguably in Premier League, if not Europe. Let's be real. At least that's how I see it. Yeah, exactly. Gabriel Magalhaes should be our captain. Odegaard is just useless as a captain. He shouldn't be even playing for Arsenal to some extent. Next season with Arteta will not... That's the sad part. Yeah, he got cooked by Zergs. It is what it is. What can you do? But that doesn't mean he's shit, let's be real. Everyone can have a bad day. Big up, Charles. Long time no see. Big up, big up, big up. Is our season over? Let's just put it that way. Next week, on Wednesday, Everton play Liverpool. When we come back from Dubai, the gap is either going to be 6 points or 9 points. There won't be a draw. And I think it's going to be 9 points. I'm always expecting the worst in this regard. And for Arsenal to claw back the points and everything, just look at this. Look at this. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Look at this, how this is going. Arsenal currently are 6 points behind Liverpool. Liverpool is gonna win. Most likely, let's be real. I expect Liverpool to win against Everton. Let's just put it that way, right? That means they are 9 points ahead of us. Which means within the next 14 games left in Premier League, Liverpool need to lose 4 games and Arsenal need to win 4 games at the same time Liverpool loses 4. That's first of all. It's a 4-game swing for us to get even to the top. And let's not forget that on game week 36, Arsenal are going to Anfield. By then, title could be done or could not be done. We won't know, obviously, until then. But the way I see these things, let's just put it that way. There are 13 games left, not 14, because Arsenal versus Liverpool could be at any point and anything could happen at then. But there are 13 games left. Do I believe that Liverpool are gonna lose, and I'm saying this, lose 4 games for Arsenal to basically, and Arsenal are gonna win those for 4 more games than Liverpool in the last 14? No, I don't. Because that means that in the last 14 games, we are looking at best case scenario, right? Arsenal win all 14 games, and Liverpool win 9 and lose 4. Do I see this happening? No, I don't. Because as much as Liverpool, I think, are gonna drop points, given the fact the way we play, how we look on the pitch, injuries, and how we perform under the highest of pressure situations, I think we're gonna drop more points. That for me is the biggest thing. I expect Liverpool to drop points. How many, nobody knows, obviously, but I expect Liverpool to drop points. The sad part is, I expect Arsenal to drop more points. Because we are not that convincing. Liverpool gets the job done. They have winners in their team, players who have won Premier League, Champions League, Cups. They have the know-how. Their manager is a winner. He has won with Feyenoord Cups and trophies. We have a manager that his biggest win is getting a dog. That's his biggest win. It's the dog. That's about it. There's nothing more. That's Arteta's biggest win. So that is the biggest thing. So in that retrospect, our season is over. Especially given the fact that we haven't signed anyone in January. So our squad hasn't gotten bigger. It hasn't gotten better. We still don't have a proper number 9. Where do we go from here? And obviously there is this PR that Bukayo Saka has flown with the team to Dubai. I get it. That hamstring injuries after surgeries tends to get better recovery happens in a very hot conditions. That's why people fly to California and stuff like that, Dubai, everything to recover, right? At the same time, the fact that Bukayo Saka has just had surgery a month ago, first of all, he needs at least month and a half, 2 months to recover, which is basically end of February, and then he needs a month and a half to get back on the pitch, get to some sort of a rhythm, first of all. So ultimately, it's gonna be May. And if it comes to that, I don't want to see Bukayo Saka play at all this season. I don't want to see Bukayo Saka play at all this season. And I much rather just see him start next season fully fit, fully healthy. Give the guy a chance to fully recover and fully rest. Don't play him this season at all. Because the way I see it, this season pretty much is a write-off already. We are not winning the Premier League. We are not winning the Champions League as well. Let's be real. Let's be real. Magalhaes is rocking our back. Exactly. Exactly. Marlon is Marlon. I admire the hope. I generally admire the fact that you believe in still. But I am pretty much checked out. I don't see this happening. Because, as I said, I can see Liverpool dropping points. But I don't see Arsenal capitalizing on them. I can see Arsenal dropping more points this season. Yeah, looks like he agrees. Never give up and have faith. I love that Marlon is cooking every single Arsenal player. Everyone's shit, everyone's awful. Will Arsenal win the league? Yes, they will. No, not that sounds very disingenuous. I'm very sorry the way I said it. Marlon still believes that Arsenal are gonna win it, but I think about a few weeks ago he said that it's over. I'm soulful, but not with this. I can get that. He's a top gunner, isn't it? Marlon's a top gunner in disguise. He took few days off of Arsenal. He has turned into a top gunner. If we don't win against Leicester or West Ham, heads should roll. The heads should have been rolling for a long time ago. Then left alone Champions League, dude. Left yet alone Champions League. That's I don't see it. The way I see it, we can win those trophies. I have faith and believe in. Well, maybe in career mode on FIFA, I can see that definitely. Have faith, believe in the team. Just need to put Odegaard in the zone and Saliba in reserve. Put the... Nah. We are not winning anything with that. That's basically going to the... That's even worse than Arteta doing his things. That's a different type of extreme. No disrespect. I'm fine with second. Nothing else I'm gonna get pissed. Big up Kevin. Big up Kevin. You're fine with second. We will take one trophy home. So which one do you see us winning? Premier League or Champions League? Which one do you see us winning? And, well, why? I need the reasoning behind this. Because the way I see it with our squad, how the other teams are built and everything, I just don't see it. Saka shouldn't be rushed at all. Exactly. Trossard, Havertz, Ranieri, Sterling. No more attackers. That's the biggest thing. Trossard, Havertz, Ranieri, and Sterling. One is a donkey, other one looks like a panda, third one is basically done and dusted, and the fourth one is 17 years old. What an attack force for Arsenal. None of them are strikers. That just sounds utterly insane if you think about it. Goal Leicester. Wait, what? What goal Leicester? What are you doing? What's happening? Oh, FA Cup. Leicester are winning. Holy crap. So basically, we would have played Leicester at the Emirates today if we had beaten Manchester United. Holy moly. We actually would have played... Oh, BSG Monaco 1-1. Woo. Biarritz is playing as a number 10. What the... I'm sorry, what the hell? Biarritz is playing as a number 10. Holy crap. Anyways, time will tell what's going to happen there, but it is what it is. Como Juventus, 1-1. Colomwani has scored again for Juventus. 3 games, 4 goals for Colomwani. He's actually balling out there. I generally say I respect Kevin's optimism in that way. Sadly, I'm just in a way... I'm a realist in that regard, and for me, it's inevitable that we are not gonna win anything. Sadly, bro is hitting his. It looks that way, and Vlahovic is holding bench apparently. I think. Wait, let me check. Is Vlahovic holding bench? Bayern Munich just got a penalty, by the way. Is Vlahovic holding bench? Yeah, Vlahovic is holding bench. Vlahovic is actually holding bench. Lol. That is actually kind of nuts. Vlahovic is actually holding bench, as wild as it sounds. Anyhow, regarding Arsenal, anything other to report for today? At the end of December, Arsenal had a brief window in which they were able to recall Fabio Vieira from his loan at Porto and decided against it. Well, I don't trust Gunner Blog whatsoever. Oh my goodness gracious. Here we go. Gabriel Martinelli faces more than a month on the sidelines with a hamstring injury suffered against Newcastle. I told you it's gonna be 3 to 5 weeks, and it looks like it's gonna be more than 5 actually. Arsenal fixtures Gabriel Martinelli is expected to miss through injury. Leicester away, West Ham at home, Forest away, round of 16 in Champions League against whoever we're gonna play. United away. Oh, he's doubtful for United away, Champions League second leg, and Chelsea at home. Holy crap. It actually... Martinelli, like, to be honest, the prime example how you compare those two is Saka versus Martinelli. Because Saka has upped his level of the game, GA-wise and maybe also output-wise and everything. Martinelli had one big season, and since then he has nosedived. Obviously, it's due to his confidence, injuries, and also to some extent due to how Arteta has changed the tactics, because these tactics we are playing right now doesn't fit Martinelli whatsoever. If we played free-flowing attacking football like 22-23 season, Martinelli would be cooking right now as well still, I believe. But the fact that he has changed the tactics to more control, slow possession, sideways backwards, shoehorn time football, plus other teams play very low block, he cannot thrive in those instances. Yes, I'm hopeful. Probably denial stage. Could be the case. I got past this after summer window instantly to some extent. I'm not gonna lie. The way when Odegaard got injured and Arteta decided not to play decided not to play Ranieri, I kind of checked out. It just showed me that Arteta is not it and it's not gonna happen. But still, the question asks, you said that we will take one trophy home this season. That's your hope, at least, right? Which one do you think we will take, Kevin? Champions League or Premier League? One of the two, since we are only two left. Martinelli is out for quite some time by the looks of things. Anything else? Nothing else. Anything else here? On the month, not the player. So nothing regarding Arsenal yet. So what I wanted to talk about still... Okay, wait, Bayern Munich scored. I want to see who scored. Well, Harry Kane scored a penalty. Well, shocking display of things. Anyways, I wanted to talk about Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta, and more specifically, his cup runs. His cup runs in FA Cups and Carabao Cups, and more predominantly after winning the FA Cup, because when he won the FA Cup, it was, when was it, 21, 20, here, after this he won the FA Cup, right? So we are looking from Newcastle upwards, in the FA Cup, right? Wait, let me fix the screen a bit so you can see it a bit better. Like this. I'm gonna cut it a bit here. So here it is. We are looking from here upwards. So we are looking starting from this upwards, right? Third round, fourth round, third, fourth, third. We have won 2 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. 2 out of 7 games in the FA Cup since the time Arteta won the FA Cup. And he beat Newcastle, then lost to Southampton, then lost to Nottingham Forest, a championship Nottingham Forest, mind you. Then we beat Oxford United, and then we have lost every single game. We have 2 wins out of the 7 last times we have played in FA Cups, and every single time we have gone out of the cup in 3rd or 4th round. Isn't that already telling you that in cup situations he is just shockingly awful? Especially with the fact that in most of these cup runs he has had his own squad, he has had millions spent on the team, he has gotten every single player he wants, and he still cannot get the job done and over the line. I wouldn't be surprised if Havertz or Trossard will be the next to be out. I don't think Havertz is gonna go because that is Arteta's baby. And who's gonna take Havertz, who is on 280 grand a week, first of all? And second of all, Trossard might be going, potentially, or Martinelli. Because Mikel Arteta has tried to replace Martinelli about 2-3 times already since he's been here. The season we signed Trossard, we wanted Mudryk for 80 million. Let's be real, you don't pay 80 million for a player just to be a substitute to Gabi Martinelli, first of all. And then he tried the Nico Williams, he has tried multiple wingers, so it could be the case. Newcastle are bogey, it's in the same truth with Leicester City and West Ham's. It's all the lower end sides. Newcastle, it's been in recent times because Arsenal have this illness called Arteta-titis, right? Where Mikel Arteta has no flexibility as the manager. He doesn't have plan B, plan C, plan D to change at games. He has one approach to every single game. He plays the same style almost every single game. And it works against some teams, against some it don't. And against Newcastle, it just does not work. Genuinely, it just does not work. Because Newcastle know how to defend properly in mid-low blocks. And we usually do good against teams who press against us, who have open gaps. The teams that shut us down, we have massive issues. Remember how last year we struggled against Luton Town? Remember those days? Remember how we struggled against Bournemouth? How we struggled against Fulham this season, last season? How we struggled against Southampton 2 seasons ago? Remember those days? Like, it's actually kind of nuts. A disgrace for the second time to be knocked out in FA Cup third round at home. Exactly. And the worst part is, Arteta won the FA Cup in 1920. And in the way he beat Man City in semi-finals and Chelsea in the final, right? Then he has played Newcastle, he won. Then he played Southampton, to who he lost, by the way. Then he lost to Nottingham Forest away, who were in championship at the time, mind you. Then we beat Oxford United, and then we have lost every single game since. Ultimately, by the way, we have only beaten Oxford and Newcastle in 7 games. Oxford! We should be beating that team with our eyes closed and hands tied behind our backs. Let's be real. So the only relevant big win is against Newcastle. Rest of those games, let's be real, we should have beaten Nottingham Forest. We should have beaten Southampton. We should have beaten that Liverpool team as well, by the way. Because the home leg ended in a draw, if I'm not mistaken, didn't it? It was a replay, and we played it at home. Wasn't that the game? Or am I tripping? Was it Carabao Cup? I think it was the FA Cup. 23-24. Because it was a draw away at Anfield and we had to play at home, didn't we? Where is it? Arsenal, 3-0 Southampton. Where is... Yeah, replays. Exactly. Exactly. Arsenal, where is it? Yeah, we lost to Liverpool. Wasn't it a replay? Why am I thinking it's a replay? Because there was a game we played. Was it? Or am I mixing this up with Carabao Cup? I'm kind of messing this about a bit. But I think... Wait. Yeah, this was the game where he put out... Yeah. I get it, yeah. I'm mixing the games up, that's my bad. I messed up the games. But yeah, it's insane. And now we look at Carabao Cup, which is also not looking that good, let's be real. I fear it, injuries to Trossard or Havertz, dude, that's gonna be nuts. If even one of them get injured. And here is our Carabao Cup situation. Carabao Cup situation since Arteta took over. Beat West Brom in second round. Beat Wimbledon. Beat Leeds. Semi-finals against Liverpool. This was the game I was thinking about. Because I think this game is the game... Yeah, this is that game I'm thinking about. Then in the third round, we lost. Another third round, we won. Then fourth round, we lost to West Ham, the infamous 3-1 game. 5-1 this year. We beat Bolton, Preston, Palace, lost to Newcastle, 4-0 over 2 legs. 4-0 over 2 legs. And the worst part is, Mikel Arteta's, by the way, second leg, specifically second leg in elimination stages record is genuinely shambolic. Second legs. Because if we look at, here we go, Carabao Cups, right? Second legs. We lost to Liverpool, second leg. We lost to Newcastle, well, my bad, second leg, right? Let's go to Europa League. Europa League. You're gonna love this, by the way. Europa League. Now, group stages, intermediate stages. Here we go. Second leg against Olympiacos. We lose. And we lose. No. My bad. That's the wrong game. Second game against Villarreal. We drew at home against our ex-manager Unai Emery. We go into second leg against Sporting Lisbon. We get done over again. It's a never-ending story. It doesn't change. And of course, last year, second leg against Bayern Munich, we lose again. Mikel Arteta's record in second legs in elimination cups, in cup games, yeah, is utterly shocking. I think he has gone through in one game out of about, 6, 7? That alone is embarrassing to my personal opinion. Look at y'all. I ain't even March yet. Y'all crapping y'all pants. Marlon, stop. I think Marlon has done something, because he wasn't never this positive until the Newcastle game. He was always very toxic, very negative. I'm sounding like Top Gunner. Basically, he was very critical, very annoyed with the team, never gave us a chance in any of the games. We lost to Newcastle in the second leg, and all of a sudden he has turned into a Top Gunner. Either there is something happened in the Matrix, something's going very fiddly-diddly, or I don't know, maybe Marlon has done something. I respect you, but I want... Yeah, no, to be honest, I respect Marlon's opinion. Whether he supports Arsenal, whether he criticizes Arsenal, I respect him. Everyone has the right to his own opinion. Everyone has the right to agree or disagree with the specific opinion. There's no need to basically get annoyed about it, to get basically pissed off about it, because obviously there are some takes that you should basically challenge, but ultimately it's everyone's choice and it's everyone's opinion. And if you get annoyed with someone's opinion, that means that you are more butthurt about your own than you are about anyone else. You are more concerned that people agree with you than to have actually a proper opinion and discussion on certain matters. Because football is that type of a sport where opinions change, evaluations change. Because evaluation of a player changes almost game-on-game basis. Because the player can come into a team and be shit. Give him like 2-3 months and all of a sudden he's the best player in the team. You can see that. Same goes for managers. Same goes for many stuff in that regard. At least that's how I see it. 1998 we nobody thought would be. That's different. That's way different. We've never won Premier or trophies. What do we have? I never stop supporting, but yeah, that's the big thing. I won't stop supporting Arsenal. As much as I feel sometimes dejected, checked out, and everything, I won't stop supporting Arsenal. At the same time, I don't believe we're going to win anything. I believe we are not winning anything this season, and I strongly believe that Arteta has to go. Because for me, the way I see it, Mikel Arteta is Arsenal's Brendan Rodgers. For me, Brendan Rodgers, for Liverpool, did everything he could to get them up top to pretty much almost winning it. Almost. If Gerrard didn't slip and stuff like that, of course. And what Liverpool did, they sacked him and they signed Jurgen Klopp, and pretty much the rest is history, let's be real. And I kind of get the feeling that Mikel Arteta for Arsenal is our Arsenal's Brendan Rodgers. He has gotten us up to a point where we can challenge, where we almost have done it, close, but no cigar. And it's time for him to go. Because when basically it comes to crunch time, You need a manager who knows how to win, who knows mentally how to prepare his players, how to get it over the line, and how to get things done. And unfortunately, Arteta has no experience in those scenarios, sadly. How to coach, how to manage, how to develop, and do all of those things. Obviously, I wouldn't love anything else more to happen than Arteta proving me wrong at the end of the season and I see Arsenal lifting Champions League trophy or Premier League trophy. Obviously, I wouldn't love anything more because then I will openly sit here and say that I was wrong. Mikel Arteta actually did the right job. Obviously, I still would question the fact that we have a very small squad and it should not be the case and that he has wasted some money, but ultimately, I would give him his props for the job he did. I would give him his props. I wouldn't be ashamed of that. I know people would spin it in a way that call me a flip-flop. People would laugh at me because of my takes I have given during the whole season. But overall, I'm a man. I can handle it. I don't care. I want Arsenal to win the trophies. And if Arsenal win the trophies under Mikel Arteta, I will sit here and say that. I will give him his props. Because ultimately, if you watch me long enough, you know that I criticize Arteta when it's needed. And I have given him his props as well when it's needed. When it's been deserved. For certain games, for certain substitutions. Like I did against City, for example. We did against PSG and other games. And at the same time, I have criticized him. And that happens obviously more often than not because the team is not performing to the standard we used to perform. The squad is very small. We are missing players. We are missing game management. There are lots of questions to be answered still. And the sad part is we have more questions than answers. And the more answers we get, the twice as many questions reappear. And that for me is the biggest issue. And there is no accountability for these issues. There's no accountability for the matters at hand. And it doesn't look like there ever will be. And that for me is the biggest thing that's pissing me off. So, y'all giving up and it ain't even close. I didn't say I'm giving up. I just have no belief in it. I don't think we're gonna win this. But that's solely based on experience, on situations that I've seen over the years, and what I've seen this season. That's the biggest thing. That doesn't mean I'm gonna stop supporting Arsenal. That doesn't mean I'm gonna not watch every game. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna go in every game with thought that we could actually get something out of it. Because every single game for Arsenal will be like a final. We need to win pretty much every single game till the end of the season. And then we have to hope that Liverpool, even if we win every single game till the end of the season right now, we still need to rely on Liverpool to lose 4 games. Or at worst lose 3 and draw 1 for us to win the league. If we go 14-0 from this point forward after the Dubai trip in Premier League, we still must hope that Liverpool lose 3 games and draw 1 for us to win the league. And that doesn't include the fact that we still have to play some big teams. We still have to play Chelsea. We still have to play United. We still have to play, obviously, Liverpool themselves. We still have to play Newcastle on game week 37. And there are teams that will fight for, there will be in relegation battle. There will be something to prove, something to gain. And those games actually will be harder. And the closer we're going to get to the end of the season, the bigger the pressure will be. Especially if the gap is not going to be bigger, if it's going to be the same or even smaller. And unfortunately, based on the previous experiences from the past, our team folds under pressure like a piece of paper, sadly. Basically, the way I am at the moment and overall about Arsenal, the way that I say things I say, it's solely based on experience from previous years. It's not that I want to be this. I don't want to say these things. That Arsenal are not good enough to do certain things. Our players are this, our players are that. But what I see on the pitch, the way players play, the way we have performed before, I just go and make conclusions from those situations I have seen, the games I have seen. So ultimately, I'm going to go with the things I've saw and with those conclusions I can make that, unfortunately, we are not there yet. We are not there yet. There are still lots of pieces missing in Arsenal's team, in my opinion, to do this on a consistent basis. Because I want to challenge, I want to win trophies, I want to win titles, but I want to do this also on a consistent basis. I don't want the same thing like happens with Kroenke's American franchises where they win league or title and then for the next 20 years they win nothing. I want to do this on a consistent basis. One off, in a way, as much as I would love to have, is not good enough. I want more. Because the appetite grows as you are eating, and the more you win, the more you want to win more. The more trophies you win, the more you want to win more. And it's always gonna go that in like chain situation. Big up Kwame. Big up. Thanks for dropping by. Have a nice evening. But that's the thing. I have Arsenal for 51 years and always will. I support it through highs and lows, but we aren't serious, sure. Yep, that is the case. That is the case. But yeah, doesn't look like Arsenal are doing too many things. The PR is being pushed on Arsenal with Saka, with the transfers and everything. That also needs to stop, because that basically all is diversion tactic to basically drag our attention away from for the fact that we are in a bit of a mess currently, quite a bit of a mess. But I guess it's never gonna change until they get called out and something happens. But it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. But I guess it is what it is. I guess it is what it is. Unfortunately, one person is not a fighter in certain situations. There need to be loads of them. And yeah, I guess it is what it is in that regard, but maybe one day. Maybe one day. But yeah, I think on that note, I'm gonna end today's stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for chilling. You have been freaking fantastic. Big up Nally, big up Marlon, big up GX Star, big up Kwame, big up. I forgot who else dropped by. I'm just doing this off my head. Big up Kevin. Big up Arsenal Manic. Big up everyone. Take care. Stay safe. Big up Charles as well. Forgot that you dropped by. My bad. I totally skipped my mind. Take care. Stay safe. Have a nice evening. As Natalie is saying, have a nice evening. Have a nice weekend. Enjoy your time off if you're not working especially. Relax. Chill. And see you all tomorrow.